Now, here's the interesting bit. This is where it gets interesting. And everyone that's watching, this applies to everyone, so please listen up. How can your customers demonstrate their COVID-19 status? They can either use the NHS app on a smartphone screen showing their QR code. So you have to fulfill one of these criterias, and then you can show your QR code. A PDF on a smartphone screen with a QR code is the second option. An NHS COVID pass letter with a barcode that's scannable is the third option. Or you can show proof of a clinical trial exemption. So, proof of a clinical trial exemption. What does that mean? Those who have participated in a clinical steerage trial have been provided with a letter. Right, okay, so they were part of a trial, they got a letter. Okay, so we're going through all of it here. Why am I talking about this? Well, it's because when you get to this bit, let's go. Let's make this big. This is the important bit right above people. Exemptions. There will be a small number of exemptions for individuals who have a medical reason, which means they cannot spear or be tested. These individuals will need to self-declare their medical exemption directly with you. Now, this is the venue owner. Okay? Yeah, stupid poo head. So you're going to the O2. You need to listen to what I'm saying. This is how you beat it. So, a digital solution is being developed which will enable individuals with a medical exemption to show their COVID-19 status using the COVID pass. In the interim, please follow the advice below. Listen carefully. Listen up. Please be mindful and respectful where there are potentially circumstances where a customer or individual cannot safely demonstrate their COVID-19 status by taking a spearage or a test. These people could include people with learning disabilities, autistic individuals, a combination of impairments that could cause distress, those suffering under medical supervision for acute or a serious disease, etc., etc. Now, event and venue organisers in England that choose to use the NHS COVID pass can decide whether to accept self-declared medical exemptions where an individual cannot vaccinate or test, ensuring that they comply with the Equalities Act 2010. Here we go. This is the important bit, boys and girls. This is the bit where you can just say no. Very, very important. Your customers may declare a medical exemption directly with you. You and your staff should not ask for evidence of the exemption. I will repeat, your customers may declare a medical exemption directly to you. Your staff should not ask for evidence of the exemption. Exactly the same with wearing a mask into a shop. If businesses decide to require evidence of a COVID-19 status as a condition of entry, they should ensure that they comply with all of the relevant legal obligations. For example, the UK Equalities Act 2010 and all the guidance that applies. This is great, you know. Remember how I beat the Soviet Union in court? I simply paid a barrister to read the small print. Well, this time we can read the small print ourselves. There isn't that much. Please consider the following steps. You may see an individual wearing a visual cue to indicate they are declaring a medical exemption from testing and from getting speared. Please note, any form of visual cue that indicates an exemption should be respected. This can include a handmade sign. What do you know about that in the Guardians? You can make a handmade sign, just saying, I'm exempt.
Yep.
It is not mandatory for an individual to wear a visual cue to outline they're exempt. You should not ask these individuals to demonstrate their COVID-19 status through the NHS app. If you cannot see a visual cue, but need to ask a customer to demonstrate their status or declare a medical exemption, please keep your distance to help protect them. If you're wearing it, so you can see where this is going.
We need to get t-shirts done.
Well, if I had time, if I wasn't already having a problem with the t-shirt supply, I was just going to get a t-shirt just saying COVID exempt.
Yeah.
So here they've actually supplied a little picture that you can put on your phone. I'm exempt from using the NHS COVID pass. Or you can wear your sunflower lanyard scheme. I really think we should make some rise above exempt lanyards. You can put your keys on them. You don't need don't need to have a card or anything.
You could have something like, I value myself.
Yeah, I value my health. So, Why have I gone into so much detail about that? Well, here's the thing. Everyone is expecting me to boycott the events, but I'm not going to, and here's why. And I'm ready to be called a hypocrite, okay? I'm ready for that. Like I said to you before we came on the show earlier in The Guardians, you can't change the world by sitting on your sofa at home.
Or under the kitchen table.
Or under the kitchen table. Now, the fact is that the Colgate Union has left a gaping hole for us once again to simply say no. If I wanted to be a smart ass and shoot myself in the foot, I wouldn't go and MC at the festival. And I wouldn't go and MC the boxing match. I would boycott and sit at home. But who am I really hurting? I'm hurting myself. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set an example. I'm going to go to both of these events. And I'm going to use this to enter them without even downloading the app. Because at the end of the day, if no one else does it, then everyone's just going to forget the small print. They're going to basically cave in. Because that's what it's about. It's about caving in, is it not?
Yeah, the collapsing of the triad.
The collapsing of the triad.